Hello and welcome to a new episode of Top of the Box, fresh from the depths of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. My name is Luke, I'm Dungeon Master, game person of Eat, Crit and Survive, and with me I have Laura.
Hello!
We are gamers who play together.
Board gamers.
We are board gamers.
I like to think I am a video gamer, but it's taken me about 3 years to do one game, so I go with the term board gamers because that is much more my speed.
That's true, we are board gamers. If you are new to us, welcome along, and if you are coming back to us, hello, welcome back to this Top of the Box. So, a bit of background into what we're doing here. This isn't my usual top 10 list that I will be rattling off as part of this.
No, for one, I'm here.
That also. But last year, Laura and I set ourselves a challenge to play through our collection as we had it at the time, plus a couple of games that I'd ordered with my Christmas vouchers.
111.
It was 111 games, which we are fresh off finishing playing the last one, which I'll probably put a picture on here. It'll turn up. We just finished the last one, which was Risk, the 60th anniversary edition of Risk. It's a beautiful board, and it was touch and go at the beginning.
I thought I was doing really well. I was rolling so well. I had so much of Asia covered, and then you stormed in from
South America and Africa. Just took
and
away.
then they took me right down into Australia, and I had nowhere to go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyway,
so that was 111 games that we played over the course of the year, and we kept track of it. This year we're doing a slightly different challenge. We're doing a 10 by 10, and if you haven't come across those before, that is we will both be choosing 10 games that we're going to play 10 times over the course of the year. Neither of us knows what's on each other's list.
Nope.
So there is a chance of crossover, because it's a shared collection.
Which means we would then play it 20 times.
We are committing to going to play a game 20 times if it comes up. It's fine. We've got time to do it.
We got time.
But to give you some extra context into what we have in the collection at the moment, we had 111 at the time of sort of like January last year.
Yeah, January 2022.
January 2022. Of those, 34 have gone. For various reasons, we've played them, we've culled them, we've either outgrown our collection.
Sent them on to other board game families to play and experience.
Yeah, I prefer to do like maths trades or sell them on at conventions or put them to charity shops, something like that, where people are going to pick them up.
Yeah, we're not just throwing them in the bin.
No.
We are giving these to people to experience and enjoy. So
Absolutely.
Definitely recycle your board games, kids.
Yeah, going into libraries. Libraries love.
Board game cafes, especially local ones, love donations as well. So if you've got one near you and you're looking to get rid of some stuff, then reach out to them. I'm sure they'd be... Yeah.
You okay there?
I'm elated. I had a lot of words in my mouth at one point. I'm sure that they would be elated to receive your games.
And I'm not editing that out.
So
we had 111, we got rid of 34. We have now got, according to the collection, 165, but there's about 16 of those which are on the cull list. So they're going to be going away at the end. So we now have a total of 149, plus a couple that are due to come in because they're on order or they're kickstarted. So we've gained 72 over the course of the year, plus a few expansions.
72. I've worked that out. That's pretty much one every 5 days.
Board game show.
So I've had to buy a whole new shelf, which is over there. You can't see it, but you will.
We will show you, because that shelf over there, that's something, a little spoiler or a tease for what's coming up, is that later in this month, or the beginning of February, I'm going to be doing my top 50 games of all time, going through the games that I have played and transferred over to the shelf that's over in the corner over there, because that's where I wanted to put them, because this is our game room. So we wanted to...
nice game art here as well.
Exactly. My brain has blanked completely. Meeple Design, that's the one. Meeple Design, they make some wonderful artwork. And they do some wonderful things as well. So, go check out Meeple Design if you'd like. But we have to talk about Gamety, who are the providers of wonderful gaming-adjacent gear and goods. They make some wonderful stuff like candles and shirts and cushions and artwork. There's all sorts of things you can find there. If you want to check out some of their stuff, you can go to gamety.co.uk/eatcritsurvive or enter the code eatcritsurvive at checkout to get yourself 5% off. A little bit of that comes to help us and help keep things going here. So do that. Without further ado, let's get into our top 50 games of all time. Wait, no.
No. Wait, look. 10 by 10.
There we go.
It's 10 by 10.
So my number 10 for this first game is one of our favourites that we like to take everywhere we go. It is Infinity Gauntlet, a love letter game.
Oh, yeah.
Part of this is because it's our game that we take with us pretty much anywhere we go. We go out for dinner, we go out, and that means we don't really play it at home. So if we're playing it 10 times, it means we've gone out. We've gone out and done stuff.
Oh my goodness, we have to go out and play a game? You mean I can't just stay at home and play a game? No, it is good because it comes in a lovely little purple velvet pouch and it's just like a handful of cards. And we've played it on trains, we've played it in restaurants, we've played it in Centre Parks, I think.
We did.
We played it... And here, we played it here yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
But you can play it absolutely everywhere, and I love it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
So Luke usually wins.
Yeah. So what it is it is the love letter system applied to Marvel and the Infinity Gauntlet saga. One player, instead of it being every person for themselves with a bit of player elimination, it is one against many. The one is playing as Thanos and has the Infinity Gems that they are going to be playing out on their turn, whereas they are competing against the Avengers. And because we often play it two-player, it means that we often have the two-player variant, which means that whoever is playing as the Avengers gets 2 turns back-to-back, and then Thanos gets a turn, and he's out from there. But it plays very similarly to regular Love Letter. You're trying to deduce what cards people have in hands, you're trying to fight with different characters of the Marvel cast and the Avengers, and just trying to get those points. Because in the Marvel version, and I think in some of the other ones that have come up as well, instead of it being a single player elimination at various points, you've actually got hit points to track, so you're not
no one is
permanently defeating someone from the round.
Yeah.
We've only actually played this with more than just us, and we did that for the first time yesterday, which is interesting. So yeah, that is my number 10, the Infinity Gauntlet, a love letter game.
My number 10 is Dog Park.
Ah, Dog Park.
It's a lovely game, and hello,
this would be on your list.
Dogs in it,
list.
I had to do it. But it was one that we got at the beginning of the year, and I think it was one that I was it the beginning of the year? It was a Kickstarter.
We did get it as a Kickstarter. We played it on stream once before.
Yeah, we played it on stream right at the beginning when I was getting into kind of like board game bits and pieces. But we actually owned it, I think, either from the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022, and it's just so cute. You walk around a park and you get little doggies into your kennels and you take them for walks and you collect bones and squeaky toys, and it's a nice little deck builder, engine builder, and it is just super duper cute. It's nice if you want something a bit more challenging but you don't want something that's like too heavy. You literally can just be like, oh, that's such a cute dog, I want to get it. And yeah, it's just nice. It's nice and light-hearted, which you'll find a lot of my games are. You're not going to get quite like dark and dingy here. You nice and light and colourful.
Yeah, you got the cute dogs. You got a little bit of that, as you say, a little engine building. You got a little bit of that worker placement. You're moving along the tracks to try and get different resources to benefit your dogs and get things going for the future, and try and meet the different breed collections as well.
Yes.
Score points that way. Betting your reputation. There's a whole different ways of getting different points on this game, so really got to work at it to make sure you get some points. I like it. Good choice. All right, let's see what goes in at number 9.
Are you going?
Yeah, it's like...
My number 9 is Villainous.
Oh.
Now we've got
interesting. Disney Villainous.
Disney. Well, we don't have the Marvel one anymore because we much prefer the Disney one, and we've got the base game and we've got 2 expansions and maybe some more in the future. But I feel like I've barely played any of the characters. I usually go for the Evil Queen because she's my girl. But I just love it. Obviously, I love Disney. And it's actually a really, really good game that you can play with 2 people, or even better, more people. But it has got that level of strategy, and it's just great. It's a great game because you get so many. When you give people heroes to fight against, it's like a real take that thing, and I just really, really enjoy it. And yeah, it's a nice challenge, but the fact that you can change up characters every single time, you have different objectives, you win the game in completely different ways each and every time. I want to try and play as every single character.
We have 11 at the moment, I think. So we got.
Gosh darn it! One of you's going to get missed.
No, in fact, we've got 12 because there's 6 in the original game, And then there's 3 in each of the expansions.
Others. Well, like I say, I've played the Evil Queen a few times, so I could probably just leave her out to the side. I think I played Hades once before, and that was good fun.
Hades is fun, yeah.
And I think we've got the one with Scar in it now.
No, we don't. No, we don't have. No, we don't have Scar. We don't have Scar.
Oh, okay. Next time.
I think which ones we do have. We've got a few. I'll probably put them up here.
Yes.
The expansions that we have.
Let's see all the ones up here. But yes, so that is one that I think will keep us going for quite a while and just give some variety. So you're not necessarily playing the same game every time, which with other games, obviously you play the same game every time. You might have little changes, but with Villainous, you literally have a completely different aim and way of playing the game every single time. So
nice.
I went for some variety there.
Good choice, and good excuse to buy the expansions. My number 9 is Tiny Towns.
I wondered if this, because this is a classic that this was like one of the first games you introduced me to it, and for us it's a very, very classic.
It's a great little game. Yeah, it's a great little game, and it's one where you're basically building out different locations into your own little grid. You bring out cubes and such, and trying to
build little buildings. You build like little inns and like little wells. I love wells. If you spam the wells at the end of the game, you're going to get some points. And like little cathedrals.
That depends on the set you're playing with, because like with Villainous, there are different variations for each of the different building types you can get. There's like 4 in each pack, I think, and there's a few more in the Villagers expansion, which we have. So we've got a lot of variety that we can throw in there off the bat. It's also available on Sovereignty, who are one of our platform partners that we do a lot of stuff with. So we haven't
played it on Sovereignty before.
Yes, we have.
Oh, we played it once.
We did. We played it for our 50th episode. We played it with Connor came and joined us.
Oh, yes.
Connor, Dom, and Tom came and joined us. We had the Yeet game.
Yes, Yeet game.
But yeah, great little game by AEG and Peter McPherson. It's a wonderful little game. I think it's great. There's a lot of stuff to build out from it. There's lots to play. It's got a great little first player token, which is just a hammer.
Oh, just a little hammer.
Little hammer. It's very cute. There's a lot of anthropomorphic animals in there, which is always Laura's favourite. It's always a good way to guarantee that things are going to get done. And it's on Sovereignty. And that's one of the things that we're actually saying about this, is that some of these games that are on my list, at least, are available on Board Game Arena to play. And because I play a lot of games on Board Game Arena without Laura, I'm not going to count those towards the challenge. I'm only going to do ones which we either stream or we play together.
Yes.
Because that means that it's a little bit of fair things. Like one of the games that comes on my list, I have literally played 43 times over the course of this year with Ross.
Well, so, I'm not going to win that, am I? Goodness me.
You did the time that we played it. More on that later. So, that is our number 9s. Oh, excuse me. Let's see what's at number 8. So, at number 8 is the Tweakness, Bootness, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's the Tweakness Game Around.
Tweakness, Bootness Game Around, folks.
The Tweakness, Beakness Game Around is Wingspan. It's Wingspan.
There's me thinking, it's Great Western Trails because there's cowboys and Rootness too. No, we're going to get some birds. We lasso them.
Yeah. Tweakness Game Around. It is Wingspan, okay. But Wingspan is a tableau building game by Elizabeth Hargrave from Stone Mine Games. It is one of my very favourite games of all time, in that top 50 for certain. And it is all about gathering birds and playing them out and doing all sorts of things. And
having little eggs.
Playing eggs, you're playing birds, you're doing one of 4 different actions on your turn. You've got different goals to reach, and you're just trying to build a stupid, crazy bird engine to try and make things going.
Yes, a bird engine.
A bird engine. And that's one of the things I want to do. There are so many cards in that game that we haven't explored.
Goodness me. How many birds are there in the world that they have created this many cards?
So many birds.
One game.
Well, we've got the base game, we've got the the Oceania expansion is still in shrink. We want to give that a go. We've got the Asia expansion that we want to pick up at some point. We've got the European expansion. There's so many different birds, and I think adding those expansions in, even if we just do like a game where we're just playing with the Oceania birds. That's it.
Yeah.
Or we're
you
going
don't
to
have
play
to have the original. You can literally just throw in whichever one you want.
Yeah. Or we could play when we play with the Asia expansion. We can just go duet mode, and we'll just play 2-player. And it's a 2-player variant of it in duet mode.
Plenty to keep us busy.
Just here we go. So, yeah, crazy broken burb engines trying to get so much done. Wingspan, I think is a good choice for this.
Oh, absolutely. It's a game that I've learned to love over time. When I first played it, I couldn't understand it. It took me a while to took me a few goes to really understand how to play this game well, as that's a running theme with me throughout my board gaming history. But it is definitely one that I've learned to love, and
really
with all the different birds. And it is, there might be a handful of birds that I'd be like, oh, I remember you, but there are new birds every single time. So many birds.
So that's mine. It's the tweakness, beaconest, fluffiest feather game that there is. Yeehaw. What's your number 7? 8.
8. Learn to count. Okay, my number 8.
She's just salty because I do the scores all the time.
Yeah, I know. My number 8. It's a. I'm throwing this out there. This could be a completely rogue choice because I've not played it yet. It's Whirling Witchcraft.
Ooh, okay.
Which is still shrink.
I'm on board.
I've literally just been sat in front of our shelves looking at every board game, and I was like, what if I just throw a new one in there to really shake things up? So I was, I haven't opened them, but I was just reading the backs of them and asking Luke if he played any of them before. And yeah, it looks like quite simple. There are a few games where we've kind of got like magic and witchy things, and I enjoy them all, so I can't see why I wouldn't enjoy this. It looks like there's a slight element as similar to Quacks.
Yes.
Where it's, if you put too much stuff in your cauldron, it explodes.
Yeah.
So you have like little cauldrons.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing is like you pass them around.
So one of the things that you are doing with it is you are getting, from what I understand, is you're getting resources in, putting them into a cauldron, and then the cauldron's being passed around. So you're trying to overload your opponents to force them to explode, whilst having enough for yourself so that you can complete different spell components and do stuff. I've not played it either, and I think that's a really great challenge. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
I hope it's a 2-player game at least. Because...
Oh yeah, it's 2 to 4.
Oh good. There's been picking a game that's going to be 3 players. But, however, these games I'm hoping to play with other people.
Yes.
Because as much as playing a game with you is brilliant, when there are more people, I think sometimes it just really adds to it. But there are some games which is enjoyable when there are more people.
I just want to have that. Playing a game with you is brilliant. Laura Parsons, 2023. Just on a shirt.
No, get it up on the wall. We can do our new artwork.
Yeah, just paint it on the wall as well.
An inspirational quote.
Cool. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be fun. That's a new one. That's going to be interesting. So, yeah, that is our number 8. Let's see what's at number 7. At number
7 is Libertalia.
Ooh, the Windsor Gale Crest.
Yeah.
Specifically, we have the 2nd edition, not the 1st.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy it. It is...
Yeah.
Deck builder?
No, it's kind of a hand management, tableau-y kind of game. You're basically playing out different pirates into a ship simultaneously and getting loot back from them. You basically, it's a hand-driven game with a board where you're getting different
I really
stuff.
like it because essentially you're playing one card at a time. Really easy, guys. But you're playing one card at a time, which can relate to the other cards that you've already put down. But I think the way it's done is so clever. You play around, and depending on where you sit, you can kind of like banish people or take stuff from people. And then there's a bit of a I don't know, but it's just got a nice kind of. It's a simple. You play one round, you then pick a treasure, and you do this. One character's got a power, and it's just. I don't know. I just really like it. It's a nice group game to play because you couldn't play it with. You could play it with 2 people, but it's a lot more enjoyable with at least a few other people.
Yeah, it's 2 to 6 player game. Actually, no, it's 1 6 player because it's Stonemaier now with the 2nd edition. You've got those ridiculous Azul Bakelite chunky tiles.
Yeah, the tiles that you can.
That are really nice. You've got the little dials for your loot, your booty. You keep going around. The artwork is fantastic.
I love the artwork. The fact that all the characters are all different animals, but you can't quite tell what animal that some of them are. But the fact that they've taken animals and turned them into pirates, and the artwork itself is one of the things that makes me keep going back to it because it's just so fun.
It's something that I've noticed a lot in 2nd editions of games, like recently, like the Libertalia, like New Libertalia and Great Western Trails. both of those have got much brighter, lighter box arts to
Yeah.
them. There's nothing wrong with the original Wet Libertarians, like Pirates of the Caribbean style, like dark pirates and gritty, and it's kind of cool like that. And the Great Western Trails is just a grey trio of cowboys stood staring off into the middle distance.
Cowboys again.
Cowboys are back. But they have really made a difference in the artwork, and I think it's done a lot for the sales of the games to sort of draw more people in, is by having these updates to mechanics and brightening up the artwork. So
I mean, it works for me. If there's a game that's nice and brightly coloured, you've got my attention.
That's true. Yeah. No, that's a good shout. I like that. My number 7 is another Stonemaier game. Stonemaier is one of my favourite publishers. It's
If you couldn't tell.
If you couldn't tell. It's got these nice little bumping tracks. We're going up different things. You've got these little minis of buildings that you can chuck into there. Tapestry is my choice at number 7.
Is that the one I won?
That is the one that you won. You did win that. When we played our 5-player game, you managed to win that one.
I don't know how.
Neither do I. But Tapestry is, as I say, it's a game where you are going up 4 different tracks and you're trying to build out a civilization. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it.
So many different things. When I first saw it, that was very, very complicated.
Yeah.
But actually, when you're playing it,
it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, there's a lot of different tracks that you can go up and there's different scenarios you can go into. The game does have a balance issue, but I know Stonemaier are putting out errata effectively to change the balance on some of the cards to make them better. I think at some point they're looking to. I know there's a third expansion that's coming out, and I've got the Arts and Architecture expansion that's coming soon, so we've got that to sort of expand and play with. There's another one before it. I don't remember the name of that one off the top of my head, but there is a third expansion that's coming out, I think, later this year, along with probably they're going to redo some of the cards to just reprint them, and they've been play testing some different variants on them to make them more balanced. So we've got that to have a look at. Okay. Sorry, my brain just suddenly caught something moving in the bottom, and I had to check it. But yeah, I really like Tapestry. I think it's my most played game of the year. As I said, I played it
because you play it on
times.
BGA.
I play it on Board Game Arena because it's one of Ross's favourite games, so we play it a lot, all the time.
With other people?
Usually just us.
Oh.
But I do play it with a bunch of other people. I play it with people in various different Discords, in the Watch It Played and Paul Deming's Discord and all sorts of things. So it's a game that I've gotten a lot of joy out of. I picked it up at Aircon last year.
Yeah.
And it sat on the shelf.
What a great find.
It sat on the shelf for ages. And one of the great things is that this is just my edition. I think whoever did it, whoever had it beforehand, 3D printed some little bases for each of the buildings because they don't quite sit on the capital city board in the right shape. So they 3D printed some that actually fill out the spaces properly.
What, in our copy? Oh, wow.
That was a find.
That was
yeah,
because you got that for like nearly half price at the Aircon.
At the Aircon Bring and Buy.
Yeah.
Great.
Check out the Bring and Buy.
Great. I'm looking forward to
We'll be there next
Aircon.
year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is my number 7. That is Tapestry. At number 6 is the game that came as a real surprise to me that it was as fun as it was because of how simple the mechanics are and the whole overall theme of it. I have chosen the dice drafting window building Sagrada.
I debated.
Yeah?
I debated Sagrada.
Sagrada's great. Sagrada is a game where you are going to be building a stained glass window for the Sagrada Familia, drafting dice, different coloured dice that you're going to be putting into things, and and sort of building up from there. You have these really, really nice triple layered windows that you're filling out. You've got different things you can slot into them. You've got all sorts of fun stuff that you can do with them. I've got a couple of expansions. The 5 and 6 player expansion, which is a terrible name for an expansion,
but it's coming really handy.
It does come in handy because it's got some different variants in there. I've got one of the Great Facades. I think it's Glory that I have, and I want to get Life. But there are so many different. There are 3 different expansions in the Artisans, the Great Artisans. Great Facades. That's the one I was looking for. That fit in there. That have each got modular expansion that you can add into, so you can just add in one at a time and see how things go. So if you're playing 10 different games of that, you can just chuck in a different expansion each time, a different module.
I didn't even
to
realise.
just change the game.
I knew we had the 5 and 6 expansion. I didn't realise we had anything else.
No, I snuck that in just before Christmas because I saw it at Manus Group.
Oh boy!
So,
no, I love Sagrada, and it has been a really big hit with everyone that we played with it this year.
Oh yeah, we the first time we played it with like Rich and Amy, we showed it to Rich, and just went, dude.
They loved it, and we first played this at Aircon, so this was back in March, and we've played it quite a lot. It's just really, really, really simple. You have a board, you pick a card, you put the card in the board, and then there's tons of dice. That's it. There's not little bits everywhere. You don't have to move around a board. There's no billions and billions of cards.
Yeah,
it is really, really easy. But get yourself a dice tray.
You do need a dice tray and all to it, and you do. I mean, you do have some things that can help you mitigate the dice luck a little bit because we do have that like sometimes. Sometimes I don't always, but you know, most of the time we get it going. But yeah, you have those little tools that you can do. You can play little glass beads onto to change things up and give yourselves a bit of a variation.
Little powers and little skills that you can do, and there's different ways that you can score points throughout the game, and it's just again really nice and bright and colourful. The dice are nice and they look like little beads of little squares of glass, and then you've got little circular beads that make they're like the little raindrop glass bits and pieces. But
yeah, they're like the glass beads in this sculpture as well.
It's just visually, it's really pretty and very satisfying if you complete. Like some of them are like get a different colour in each row, or get a different number in each row. Oh, it's just really satisfying when you see the colours that you and patterns that you create. It is very, very nice, very, very easy to play. We could play 10 games in a day. Like it is really, really
very difficult to get bored of. That was my number 6. What's yours?
Mine is Red Rising.
Oh, we are going heavy on Stonemaier.
I know.
That's like with 4 different Stonemaier games that we've done already.
We have a type.
Really?
We've only played this twice. Twice. And it has really stuck in my head. Again, it's same as like Libertalia. It's I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this games where this one is more a
it's a hand management game.
Another hand management game, but rather than Libertalia that you're playing one and you might never really see it again. This one you are playing one but you gain one back and you're managing everything that's in your hand rather than just thinking, okay, which one do I play next and don't have to worry about, and then which I'll play that one. Whilst this one, okay, I could get points if I do this, but then I have to link this character to this, and I can't have all of these colours because these colours are bad.
You can get some dumb points in this game. It's
ridiculous. But that's what I love.
Dumb points.
But the way it's laid out as well, and the many different ways that because isn't one like you get influence or energy, or you go and visit all the planets.
Yeah, you've got 3 different tracks that you can go up to, which sort of make a difference. It's getting helium, getting your influence and your control into one area, and exploring with the spaceports and going a different distance.
But there's so many different cards and so many different people, which again, the artwork and like some of the little tags and the background information on these characters is really, really compelling, that it's almost like a story that I need to know.
Which it is, because it is part of the Red Rising universe. It is based off of an IP, which is interesting. And we've also got Marvel Remix, which is based off the same system from Fantasy Realms, I think it is. But obviously that's Marvel characters, so it might be something to give a go at some point. Have a look at. Cool. That's interesting. That is a left field pick for you.
I know, right?
I'm surprised by this.
I know.
So that was our number 6. Let's see what we have at number 5.
At number 5, Architects of the West Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to pick. I really enjoyed that collection of games.
The West Kingdom series.
The West Kingdom series, and also the North Raiders as well.
Yeah, you are yet to play Viscounts for West
I haven't played Viscounts, or the other one that you've got.
Wayfarers in the South Tigris.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't played that either. That's new to me.
And again, I kind of had to look at the back of the boxes just to remind myself which game was which. But Architects was the first one I played, and it's the first one that stuck with me. And again, really enjoy it.
So good.
So enjoy it.
Spoiler alert, guys, it's in my top 10.
It is brilliant. Again, better when you play with more people, and we will probably try and play with more people with this one, purely because the fact that you can send people to prison is hilarious.
Yes. So what it is a worker placement game with an element of investment. We were trying to build out buildings and parts of a cathedral within, I think it's part of 10th century, late 9th century, early 10th century France.
No idea.
And you are putting up workers. And unlike most worker placement games, you have a sort of worker investment step, so you can put one worker out at a time. It turns really snappy because it just goes.
It's again games that have you just nice quick rounds, not where you sat there thinking, okay, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to pick that up, and then I've got to do this. No, quick games is what I like.
Quick and snappy turns. But then you put a second worker out, and you get more resources back. You can build a quite good engine. As you say, extending people off the prison is great.
Oh, it's great.
One of the good things I do like about this game is that there is a 2-player variant, which is the solo mode of the game, which is really mean. The game is
the solo mode.
The solo mode is so mean, but it's hilarious because it plays as it. In the normal 2-player game, if you play without the option of playing with the solo mode cards, it can feel like you're not really attacking each other. Unlike when we played it in our 5-player game, where it was sort of like
going at each other, which was great fun.
But with the solo player game, with the 2-player variant, when you add the solo mode cards into, it still has that element of attacking you. It still feels like you're playing with an aggressive third player, which is really interesting. I think it's really clever how they've managed to do it. We've also got, as one of my Christopher's, we've got the Age of Artisans expansion, and there's a couple of other expansions out there that I want to have a look at, including the Tone Saga, which gets you to run a story that goes between all 3 of the West Kingdom trilogy games.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So that's something else that I want to look at. I'm surprised that's on your list. It's not on mine.
I'm surprised it's not on your list.
I
wouldn't be surprised if one of the other ones was, because I know you really like Paladins.
I do really like Paladins. Architects is my favourite of the 3.
Oh, interesting.
So I am looking forward to giving that a go and playing that 10 times over the course of the year. Nice. My number 5.
Are we on number 5? Number 6?
This is number 5.
Number 5, guys. Number 5.
Sigma Sagrada and Red Rising.
Yeah.
My number 5 is a game that is probably my game of 2022. It has a very distinctive Lazy Susan that spins around the board. It is Planet Unknown by Adam's Games.
Yes.
It's a game that was introduced to us on Sovereignty. It was one of the first games we played on Sovereignty.
Yeah.
And we are going to be playing it early this year with the designer. So that's going to be fun for us to do. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be here and on our Twitch channel. Basically, you are building a planet, and you are drafting polyomino tiles from a Lazy Susan. You'll spin the Susan, but as the active player, you spin it to your chosen depot. You draw one of the 2, you put it on there, and then you bump up some tracks.
It's like Tetris, but in space.
Space Tetris.
Space Tetris.
And you're just building up the planet. You're trying to get different resources. You've got civilization technology, planetarized rovers going around getting the meteorites.
Little mini rovers are great. I haven't actually played this game in person. I've only ever played it on Sovereignty, and I'd love to play it in person because I just love to know how. Are they quite chunky pieces?
Definitely.
Are they like 3D pieces?
Yeah, the
little rovers.
The rovers are 3D. The meteorites are 3D. The life pods.
I do really enjoy this game.
Yeah, it's really good fun.
I forget how much I enjoy it because, I don't know, just physically, even on Sovereignty, I feel like the game itself is huge.
It does have a big
It's almost a bit
presence.
daunting, but yeah, the fact that it is simply pick a tile, put it down, you get what's on the tile, and dump the tracks, which gets you more stuff, and then move your little rover around. No, it is really good. I do really enjoy that.
It's really good. There's a lot of different variants as well because you've got the standard corporation and planet that you play with. On the other side of them, there are different ones.
There's different planets with.
So there's different planets, different corporations.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of different combinations. You can do all sorts of weird nuts stuff and see where it goes. It's gonna be bonkers. We're going to be playing it. I know we've got it at least booked in to play twice over the course of the first couple of months. We've got someone to play with Aircon because I very kindly got a friend to send it across to me because it was unavailable in this country for a long time, and they managed to send it across to me, which was very much appreciated. So I promised I will take it up to Aircon, play it with them in March.
Oh boy, we're going to need a bigger bag.
We'll take it in the car, it's fine. Yeah, we're going to give it a go. We've got a lot of gaming in Aircon. It's 4 days of gaming. We're going to get through a few of these, I suspect. So that is my number 5 and our number 5 picks. Let's see what we have at number 4. So, number 4. My number 4 is a game that you have not played.
Oh no!
And it's a game I really enjoy. It is a big game. It is in the biggest box in our collection. Terrifying.
I knew it!
Terraforming Mars is much like Planet Command. You are terraforming a planet, specifically Mars. It is a card-driven engine building game where you are going to be playing out different cards, paying your mega credits, doing different corporation stuff.
Is this the big game or Ares expansion?
No, Ares Expedition is the smaller version. Well, I am including in this one, I'm including Ares Expedition as part of the Terraforming Mars family, and I'm doing both of those as part of it.
So it's going to be the big
Five of the, I think we could probably do a split of like 60-40 of the big one and the small one. Because they are technically separate games, but they're close enough in my mind that we can play them interchangeably.
I'll allow it.
Thanks, Your Honor. Quick, where's the rules lawyer? Yeah, Terraforming Mars is you are building out Mars, and you have a bit of area control that's going on there by playing out the 3D tiles that we have, because we have the big 3D printed version.
Big.
I really like the game. We also have the Prelude expansion that I want to get a bit more exploration with. There's a huge chunk of cards. There's a lot of stuff going on there. You do 2 actions a turn. You're basically trying to terraform Mars by playing with different cards and building this engine. In Ares Expedition, you're doing much the same, only it's a lot smaller. It's a lot slimmed down. The board is a lot smaller. And you're just you're building up your resources in much the same way and still trying to fit those different goals of getting oxygenation, temperature, and oceans on the board. And yeah, I think they're similar enough that you could probably do 6 of one, 4 of the other, and you're still saying, well, you played Terraforming Mars.
I mean, with how much you've played it and probably how popular it is, I don't think I've ever seen what it actually looks like.
That's the thing. It's been in the top 10 on BGG for a long ages.
I honestly, most of these games I know what he's on about, probably because I've played at least once or I know of them. But Terraforming Mars, I know of it, but I don't even know what the pieces look like. Yeah. I don't have a clue. So this will be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think there's a lot to explore in it because there's so many different cards. Like in Arc Nova and Wingspan, there are a lot of different cards to play with. I personally prefer Terraforming Mars over Arc Nova. I'm not a massive fan of it. It's okay, in my opinion. But I really, really enjoy Terraforming Mars. I think there's a lot of fun to be done in there. A lot of really cool engine builders. I think you're really developing a head for engine builders.
I'm getting there.
So I think that sort of thing would work out well for you. And
I like engine builders.
And I've got a few different bits of upgrades. I've got like a little card stock stuff. I've got the 3D bits for Terraforming Mars.
Enough to keep us entertained.
Yes, and there are a lot of expansions if we want to go down that rabbit hole. Prelude, I think, is one that I will definitely include each time we play it because it just speeds the game up a little bit. So yeah, that's my number 4, Terraforming Mars.
My number 4. We're going a bit lighter here, but Cascadia! Cascadia!
No, same game. Totally the same game.
Nice. This game is just so easy, and it is really, really not simple, but it's definitely one of the more simpler games in this entire list. But it's really, really good. You've got different animals, and you've got to just match up the terrains and the animals just to score points. And when you pick an animal up, you can pick up the little tile and the animal. It's just really satisfying to get all those little groups together, all the terrains together, and based on how the scoring conditions are, you just put your animals in the little groups, and it's just really nice.
And because we've got the Kickstarter version, we've got 6 of the different animal types. We can combine them all with different combinations. I think this is the second Spiel des Jahres game that we've got on this list. I think the other one's Wingspan. So we've got it is a really good game. I really enjoyed it. When we first played it, it went straight in at like number 3 on my top 10. I've cooled on it a little bit, but that's probably because it was so long between the plays.
Yeah.
We just need to play it more.
I think we first played it on Tabletopia, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it. It was actually a game that I felt like I had a chance at winning when I was playing against other people, because it is really simple to understand. And it is really, again, really easy to play. It's got cute animals in it. Really? But what I really enjoy is in the instruction book, it's got like details at the back of the instruction book about all the animals that are included. Yeah. And it tells you about like their habitat and all the things around them. I think one of the animals in there is like an endangered species, and it tells you like how you can support them and help them. And it's really cute, and it's just a very, very well well done game. So I needed something a bit lighter on this list that I could do. So
yeah, approved.
I
like that.
My
Cascade is a good one.
4.
That's our number 4. What's at number 3? All right, Laura, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is, surprise, surprise, it's Everdell.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I said right at the beginning that I have a type. Like, it's cute, fun,
Anthropomorphic
animals.
There you go.
And it's just nice and bright and colourful. And yes, that's why
she's marrying me. I'm my type.
You're an anthropomorphic animal. That's nice
and
and bright and colourful.
Yeah, that's me.
Totally. It's a lovely, I wouldn't say little game. This isn't a little game. This is a lovely picturesque game. Which has got a little bit of worker placement, engine building, tableau. What's the next word?
Building. And building.
And building. And the fact that you have to build a tree, like a physical cardboard tree to have the cards play on. And the resources, I think all the games come with the actual, like, it's not cardboard resources, it's actual...
Well, they are squishy.
They're squishy.
Squishy berries.
Silicone resources, which is lovely. And I like I said, I'm getting really into my engine builders, and I love it. The fact that you have a just a square of, I think it's like 3 rows of 4 or
15 cards.
15 cards, so 3 rows of 5, and you have that space. You build a town. You try and link buildings to animals, and different buildings get you free animals, and you try and score as many points through all this weaving of interconnecting buildings and villages and just different ways that you can do it, and you collect resources to pay for them, and it's just my happy place.
It's a good game.
And I'm pretty good at it now.
Yeah.
I think I've definitely been up there, and when I know I'm good at a game, I enjoy it more, or at least if I know I've got a chance at winning it, it makes me feel better, and I enjoy it more.
All the salty first plays.
The salty first plays.
Do
not play a game with me for the first time, because I will be salty if I lose. I'll be like, I didn't understand. Then by the second time, I'm like, I get it now. And then if I lose, it's just because it's like, okay, I'm learning.
Yeah.
But no, Everdell is like, it's a comfort zone. And do we have an expansion for it?
We don't, but there are 3 or 4 available on Tabletopia. We can give them a go there first.
We might need to get on that. So if because
there was the big collection, like the proper full Everdell collection that came out. It was like $200 or something like that.
It was ridiculous.
It was nuts. It became like a wooden tree and all sorts of stuff. It looks chonky.
If we play that on Tabletopia with expansions, I mean, I think that's pretty much classed as it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it counts, absolutely. That's how we're doing it. As long as we play it digitally, as long as we do it. That's your number 3. My number 3 is more of a system of games. It's more of a state of being. Because in battle, there are no equals. It's unmatched.
Oh, okay.
I'll play the unmatched system. I like unmatched.
Oh, okay.
What?
I never win unmatched. Everyone gangs up on me. You're always Ghost Rider, and you just run me over again and again and again and again.
Not always Ghost Rider.
Most of the time.
I've done it twice.
Most of the time. Anyway, it is a really good game.
Unmatched
you want something very different.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. It's very left field, and also it's relatively quick. Like some of these games on this list, like Tapestry, Wingspan, Terraforming Mars, they are big.
These games will take a few hours. Unmatched, you could have a game done in 30 minutes.
Easily. It is a card-driven skirmish game where players are going to be moving around the board and attacking each other.
Beating each other up, basically, but with your favourite characters. So, for instance, we have Daredevil.
On his way. That's the one that's coming.
Knight Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Oh, Jesus. Knight Rider.
Oh my god! I'm just going to be David Hasselhoff.
Restoration games, get on it. But yeah, you can play all sorts of things. Like we have, I think our favourite set is the Goblin Fog, which has Sherlock Holmes and the Invisible Man and Dracula.
Ghost Rider in it?
That is the Redemption Road. It has Luke Cage, Ghost Rider, and Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
That was the first set we picked up.
Yes.
Because we picked that up on our way to our holiday in Norfolk back in June. So yeah, that is the set we want to do because we've got all these different sets. Four different sets plus a fifth one on its way. The Battle Legends Volume 1 and 2, Cobble and Fog, Hell's Kitchen is on its way, the Marvel version. There's 2 more Marvel versions coming out this year. I think it's The King and Country is one, which has Black Panther and Black Widow in it, and another character.
We played the Buffy one.
We played the Buffy one,
which I enjoyed. That was good.
Yeah, Buffy was fun. Needs a fun. They're not available on this side of the States. There's like the Jurassic Park, which I'm not fussed about because I'm not Jurassic Park inclined.
It's just a giant T-Rex. You can play as a giant T-Rex.
Or you can play as a bunch of raptors running around and doing things as all sorts of things. There are a lot of different options.
Crazy.
Alice in Wonderland, you've got Sinbad, King Arthur, Wonky Kong. There's all sorts of different options that you can do for this game, so it is really worth going in and having a look at the unmatched system. So that is my number 3, is just the unmatched system as a whole. So we'll give that a go. Let's see what we have at our number 2. Last 4 games. No crossover yet. We're getting
none yet. 4 left.
We'll see. So my number 2, I'm sensing we might have a crossover here. Might be very close. My number 2 is Cartographers.
No crossover.
Okay then. Cartographers is a map drawing game where it's roll and write at flip and write. It's one of my favourite flip and write. It is a fantastic little game where you are just going to be flipping over different cards, filling in different polyomino shapes and different terrain types, scoring with different objectives, and
it's lovely.
So many different maps. We have 10 different maps because of the different sets. In fact,
that's one map per game.
It's not even that. We have more than that because each of the 3 map packs we have a double-sided. So we actually have 7. So we have 14 different maps that we can play with. And we've got 3 expansions that we haven't opened and touched yet. So we've got a whole load of stuff to explore on those. I just love that there is differences that comes out in each of the maps. There's different powers that come up. There's different abilities. There's different objections.
The fact that there's heroes. There's more monsters. There's different maps now. This game could literally keep you going for hours and hours and hours. And to be fair, it nearly made my list.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I thought, let's try and play some things that we haven't played a lot of, because we have played a lot of Cartographers.
We have played a lot of Cartographers.
Go-to one when we've got people around. A nice family game as well.
And it's unlimited player count as well. Like, you could play it with anyone
it
at any
advertises
time.
like 1 to 100.
And that's just because of how many sheets are in the box.
Yeah.
Like, you could just get 2 of them together.
It's really satisfying when you play with coloured pencils and you get to colour in all the different squares in the right colours. That's lovely. Yeah,
it's nice. But yeah, Cartographers is my pick at number 2. Laura, what have you got at number 2?
Flamecraft!
Of course.
Flamecraft.
I saw this coming. I predicted that was coming. That's why I didn't put it on my list.
It's a fairly new game for us. We kickstarted it, and it is just sort of adorable. It is, you are in a town where people and little artisan dragons work together to create shops and bits and pieces. So you are a little dragon and you're traveling around the shops, and it's resource management, as well as you've got artisan dragon. Fancy dragons. Fancy dragons, which get you points, and you can collect resources to gain cards, which get you points. But you have a layout of different shops that you can visit, and some of them are simple. You go and collect resources, but like there's one that's like a wishing well, and you get coins, and if you flip a heads, you get more coins. If you flip a tails, you lose those coins. And then there's other ones where there's like, what is it, critical roles, where there's
so many puns.
Beautiful. The art is gorgeous and adorable, and it's everything that I want in a game. It's there's just fantasy dragons in lovely colourful flowers and cute little shops, and they're just so adorable with really adorable names. I mean, one's called Hot Dog. Like, it is really cute. It's adorable, and it was probably the first game that I had an interest in before it was even out yet.
Yeah.
This is one I've kind of been along with the whole journey. And when we kickstarted it, I was so excited. And we've got the original bits. We've got like the wooden bits,
Nice deluxe edition.
but we've got the deluxe one where we've got like the silicon dragons, and we've got the metal coins, and we've got the wooden resources, and it's just beautiful. And there's loads of different shops that we need to play with yet. Like we've still got some to discover. I'd love to play it with more people. We've only played it with us two so far.
We've only played it too, yeah.
Check out our video of us playing it recently, and and this is one that I would really like to try and play with other people.
Yeah, I would
too. But yeah, it's a game that we've only just scratched the surface, and I would really, 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 really love to play it more.
So that's it. That's our number 2, Cartography and Flamecraft. Two very same game basically. They are identical in what they're doing. So let's have a look and see what we have at our number 1 spot.
So number 1, I think this is quite a bit of a rogue choice. It's not one that I would necessarily have gone for. That I don't know if you've gone for. It's a bit different. It's the Robin Hood Adventures.
It's my number 1 too.
Your number 1 too.
Yep.
Oh my god.
This is the only crossover we've got on this list, and it is
number 1.
It is the number 1, and you're right. So I had these listed alphabetically the first time that we did this.
And I made him put it in, so I'd done mine in kind of 10 to 1, and we'll go backwards and forwards. He had it in alphabetical order. And literally just before we started recording, I told him, why don't you just put it in order for not the least game you want to play, but just from the bottom to the top. And the fact that you put Robin Hood on the top along with mine.
That's nuts.
That is ridiculous.
So, for those who don't know, The Adventures of Robin Hood is a story-driven game where you are moving your little workers through Sherwood Forest and Nottingham, trying to flip over different advent calendar-style tiles and resolve different things in the story as you're going through.
And stickers and things that you can create the game as you go, and you uncover lots of different things. It's on the same board, but it is just going through the little story and many tales of Robin Hood.
Yeah, you're flipping over all sorts of things as you're going through it and revealing different secrets as part of the game. And what's great about this is that we've played it 2-player so far, and we played the first couple of adventures as part of it. Even if we play through the entire campaign, I don't know how long it is.
This is the thing. We've both chosen it now. So 20
times.
20 times. We don't actually know if it's got that many chapters in it.
But we do have 2 things that are going for it. First of all, if we just do it 2-player, we only see about half of the story. There are 2 other scenarios that are alongside the character that need to be played if you play it 3 and 4 players, because you find out what Maid Marian was up to. She has her own separate story if she's included, and in the 1 to 2, I think it's just Robin Hood and
Little John.
And then Maid Marian comes in, and then another character joins in as the 3rd player, or 4th player even. But there's also a Friar Tuck expansion.
Oh, there's an expansion.
There's an expansion that's coming up. The Friar Tuck expansion that we can pick up at some point. I think Cosmos are releasing it this year, so that'll be something else to pick up. So that's something else to develop the story.
That'll add on to the chapters if we run out of them.
Yeah,
because I looked at the book. I took the game down as I was looking, and I actually opened it to see if we could get at least 10 games out of this. I didn't realise we'd have to get 20 out of them. Yeah. But we only did 2 chapters, and we barely started in the book.
And the thing is, there's also if this is your first time, there's on the section of it, it's choose your own adventure aspect of it. If this is your first time you have gotten to this section, go to this page. If this is the second time you're doing it, go to the second one. So there's a secondary story that you can actually explore as part of it. And it depends on whether we do this in different play accounts. We run through it with just the 2 of us, and then we go through it with another couple.
I think it'd be good to go just the 2 of us, and then if we need to play it more, we add in another person.
But we'll need to play it more.
We will need to play it more. Oh boy, that's typical, isn't it? The last game
is
it's
one of those
where
difficult.
The one crossover. The one where there is a limited amount of replayability with this game. However, I think we needed a reason to want to play the story.
Yeah, and I really have gotten into story games at the moment. Stuffed Fables is another one I thought you were going to pick because you really liked Stuffed Fables.
I really liked it, but we've started that with a couple of other friends, and I kind of want to keep it as that team as we keep going. So as much as I really like to know the story of things, I'll get into things just for the story.
Yeah.
I tried playing The Last of Us, scared the crap crap out of me. But I really want to know how that story goes. Back to video games, back to board games.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of different story games out there. Like, I've got Near and Far on the shelf. I really like that when I played it through with Ross. I really want to give the Tales of the Arabian Nights a go. I know that that's available in a couple of board games. It's not available to buy anywhere, but I know it is available in some board game cafes, like Thirsty Meeples in Oxford has
you
it.
have to book a table for like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a day.
That's going to be a day.
Yes,
but no, this gives us. I mean, we're always talking about games with replayability, and this is a really good game for not necessarily replayability, but
you've got a
different things are happening every single time, completely different story. And just from what we've played, I really enjoyed it because you got sent it as a mystery.
I got it in a mystery box from Zatu, who are our game store of choice really because they are.
They have lots of games.
Disclaimer: I write for them,
recommend.
so I do blog for them. So check out some of my blogs. It's Zatu.
Yeah.
I need to put in there ding, cheesy ding there.
Yeah.
But so we do have that sort of those games coming in. It came through. It was a real surprise to us because it had been really hyped up. I think it played through a couple of times, or at least a couple of scenarios had been picked up, and I thought the concept was really intriguing. But I had no idea about
we didn't have any other games like that before,
No.
and I definitely hadn't played any games like that. So it took a little while for us to kind of be like, okay, let's play this. And we sat down and we'd done the first chapter, which is like just the basic beginner thing.
Here's
we were like,
play.
this is really fun. Shall we do the next one?
Next story.
Yep,
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So that is brilliant that we both got the same.
It's
all
typical.
the games of all the 100 and a billion games that we have, we picked that one as our
Only
number
149
billion.
Oh, Laura. So that is our 10 by 10 list, or as it turns out, 10 by 19, kind of. With
I'm
an
not
extra,
good at maths.
It's a 10 by 20, sort of games that we are going to be playing over the course of this year. Do you have any challenges yourself that you are undertaking? Are you trying to do a no shrink challenge where you get rid of every game, or you play through every game that is
Every
in
new
shrink?
game, we really need to do that as well.
We do, we've got a few that are in shrink. Or are you trying to do like we did last year and play through your entire collection in a year, just to see if you could? Are you trying to do a 10 by 10? Let us know in the comments what your challenges are and what you think of our 10 by 10 list. I'd be really interested to know how you think we're going to do. You can see what we got up to with our previous challenge. We're going to do some stuff on our Instagram about our last challenge, our 111 games played in a year.
Check out our stream, which does have a few of those stream videos of the games that we did are part of that challenge as well.
That's true, and we're going to be doing some more of those as the year goes on. So check us out on eCritSurvive, twitch.tv/eCritSurvive, or on here on YouTube. We will be uploading them afterwards, and also on Instagram, eCritSurvive. And until then, take care of yourself. Have a very happy new year. Good luck in 2023. May the dice be ever in your favour.
What?
And do well. Bye, everyone.
Bye.